Good afternoon, Pine Ridgeland High School. This is Mrs. Bowman and Mrs. Bowers. We are here today to share some very important information with you about AP exams. So you are receiving this presentation from your AP teachers, and you're going to hear both of us say time and time again that we want to make sure if you have any questions or concerns after you watch this presentation that you reach out directly to your AP teacher first. You are also more than welcome to reach out to Mrs. Bowers or to me. We're here to help, and we want to help you go through this new way of testing for 2020. Next slide, please. So as you know, at Pine Ridgeland High School and Pine Ridgeland School District, our mission is focused on learning for every student every day. And this is one of those times that we really do believe that this is a wonderful opportunity for you as a student to grow, to be resilient. We are going to be innovative as we take exams in a format that we've not done before, that this is a unique, diverse opportunity for all of us. And it's also a way for you to continue to stay engaged in your current AP courses, as we know you're staying engaged in all of your courses at this time. So there are new guidelines for AP exams for 2020. You know, the most encouraging thing that we've heard from all of your teachers is that Pine Ridgeland High School students will be ready. We've heard that you will be ready and prepared to take these exams, and that does not surprise us at all as our PR family. The exam content will include units of study that were covered in the first 3 quarters of the school year. And we want to add here too that we know that for some of the exams, there's a little bit of additional course content that your teachers have been covering with you going into the 4th quarter as well. But I will stress again that your teachers know you are ready for this challenge. You would be prepared if we were taking the exams in the building together. You will be prepared given this new format as well. And in the weeks leading up to the new exam dates that we will share with you in just a few minutes, your teachers are going to continue to give you any new course information, course content that you need that might not have been covered yet. And then from there, it's really just a review of the content for the exam, as well as helping you to prepare for this new form of an assessment. So just a few reminders as well as some new information. The AP exam and completing that AP exam continues to be a requirement for all of our Pine Ridgeland High School students. That's all of you that are currently enrolled in an AP course. The exam fee remains the same. It's $94. And as all of you know, those fees were due today, Wednesday, April 8th. But given the unusual circumstances that we are all experiencing, we've extended the deadline. So AP exam fees are now due no later than Friday, April 17th. We ask that you send a check payable to Pine Ridgeland High School to the school. And if you would remind your parents, or you yourself can help your parent to make sure you mark the front of that envelope as AP fees, then we will know to make sure that that goes directly to our school counseling office. Each week, I have been going into the building with another one of our staff, and we go through the mail, and then Mrs. Torcha and Mrs. Erlane in the school counseling office are taking care of making sure we have these fees for everyone. So again, we've extended the deadline. We are asking that all of the AP exam fees be paid no later than Friday, April 17th. The format, dates, and times for the AP exam 2020 has changed. And so Mrs. Bowers is going to take over, and she's going to share some additional important information with all of you.
Okay, so it's going to be quite different. We've gone from a 4-hour test to a 45-minute test, and from testing in all of my lovely rooms with our proctors to you testing at home. So the AP exams will be online in your house. There are a 45-minute exam, but there's 30 minutes of setup time before that, and then 5 minutes to upload your answers. That's really important for you to remember. I'm going to go back over it again in a couple of minutes. You can test using anything that has internet connectivity, your smartphone, your computer, a tablet, a desktop computer. You'll be able to take photos. You can actually handwrite your work and then take a photo of it and submit it, but we're going to address that too in a minute. If you are a student that receives academic accommodations, such as extended time for testing, or the ability to take extra breaks, or the use of a computer for your essays, those accommodations will be automatically applied by the College Board. You've already been approved by the College Board. More information, specific information about your tests will be coming to you and to us on April 20th. So we're sort of just as minimally informed as you guys at this point, but we're sharing what we know with you. One question I've had from some kids going to college next year, excuse me, is how will my AP credits be accepted by colleges? And colleges, according to College Board, are really understanding of this as well because they're in the same boat, right? So they will be still accepting your college credits and applying them to your classes as they deem fit, okay? All right, so I'm going to back to those devices. You can use one device for testing. You can't use your smartphone and a computer. It has to be just one device. So you need to choose the device on which you know you'll be most successful. I mentioned the test, 45 minutes of assessment, yes, but there's 30 minutes of setup. And setup includes some questions that they're going to ask you for different purposes. Setup includes getting your code from either your email or your College Board website. I don't know that information yet. And being able to log in with your code for testing. And then 5 minutes to upload any written work. Very stringent timelines, guys, so please take that into consideration. Also something to consider, your screen size, right? For speed of reading and replying to DBQs. So if you're using your phone, you're gonna have to be scrolling through. Is the type big enough? How fast can you type on your phone? How fast can you type on your desktop? You need to think about which screen you use, which device you use. And then we also need to take into consideration how much time it will take you to upload materials. That goes down to internet speed as well. Okay, so things to think about. AP Studio Art remains a portfolio submission. I do believe there is a hard copy portfolio required as well. I'm still waiting on further information from that, and I will get it to you as soon as I know. World language exams, it's not reading or writing, it is speaking. You will listen and respond to questions. That specific information is yet to be determined or yet to be disseminated to us as well. But again, as soon as we know, you will know, I promise. Some of the things that AP has taken into consideration are, the ethics of testing and how to stop cheating from happening. All the rules that we have in AP at the school when we do it. There's no cell phones, there's no nothing, you can't have food. So they've based their tests on the fact that the answers can't be researched quickly. There aren't any multiple choice. Again, specific details about each exam will be available on April 20th from College Board. So there's one thing that we do know, and that's AP Lit, AP Language, AP History, AP Euro will be one 45-minute question to answer. So as we're going forward, I want you to start thinking about that. If you look online, you can get a little bit more information about what type of question it will be, so you can better prepare, and your teachers will be conveying that information to you as well. On that thought, I'm going to turn this back over to Mrs. Bowman, who wants to talk a little bit about security and things like that.
Thanks, Mrs. Bowers. So as I begin to talk about test security and the importance of ethics, I also wanted to stress what a wonderful learning experience this will be for all of you. I know that taking these AP exams can add some stress, but please keep in mind that this is something that moving forward into your college career, you're going to have opportunities to take exams, both in a traditional pen and paper format, as well as electronic. And so this is one of those opportunities to have you experience something that you are going to be experiencing more and more as you move on into your college career. So
I'm going to give you an example of that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead, Mrs. Bowers. You go right ahead. Jump in.
My bad. Being mindful of time limits. It's important to practice. I'm going to give you an example of my daughter's experience, and she's standing here watching me. So my daughter's a freshman in college, and she has a professor who is very specific that he's going to give you a certain time to log in. You're going to take a quiz, and then you're going to upload it, and you're going to be done. It has to be done in that time limit. We live in the country, and our internet sort of sucks, I'll be honest. So she finished her test, and she started uploading it, but the upload took longer than the time that was allotted for her test. And so she got a C because the upload didn't get there within his time limit. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this to remind you to be very cognizant of your time. I think it's important to practice. If you are doing a calc test, you're going to do all your configurations on paper. You're going to take a picture of it. You have to have time to take that picture, to upload the picture to your computer, to download it, to then upload it to the site for AP. So we really encourage you to practice doing something like that. You can send Mrs. Bowman an email. You can send me an email. We would be glad to let you know if we got what you sent us and to affirm that. But really need you to be aware and mindful of what limitations might exist in your house, okay?
So with that, thanks, Mrs. Bowers. We thought that was a really timely example. So one of the first things that the AP College Board shared with us was the importance of being mindful of the time limit. They will, again, and your teachers will help us to confirm the time limits that you have. So you really need to be thinking about that. As Mrs. Bowers mentioned, practice that. Be mindful of the time limit and set up a system in your home that you can keep time. You might be using your phone, so maybe you need to use a different alarm clock in your home. Maybe you need to have a sibling help you by setting an alarm on their phone, or maybe mom and dad could help you with that timing. But be mindful of that time limit, because as all of us know, when we get busy and we're focused on something, that time is something that we don't always pay attention to. College Board did stress with us that if your responses are not submitted within the time provided, your test will not be scored. So again, we cannot emphasize that enough. Have a plan in place in your home to help you keep track of the time limit. College Board also knows that you will have access to notes and other resources during the exam. We get that. This is a unique testing environment. So please know that the questions that you will be asked focus on applying content that you've learned. So as Mrs. Bowers mentioned, no multiple choice. It's going to be on application of content. The other thing that was stressed was that you cannot consult with anyone during the testing period. Do not access things like chat rooms or group chats or make phone calls during the exam time. That will definitely carve into and take away that precious time that you have. But in addition to that, it is just not ethical. AP College Board shared some information with us about their security protocols, but obviously they didn't share everything. They want to make sure that we know there will be strict security protocols that they will follow, but they're not going to tell us all of those details. So here's some of the things that they did share. There will be a series of questions that you will ask prior to starting the exam. Part of those questions help them to detect impersonation. Is it really you taking the test? They will use plagiarism software, scans of your uploaded answers, your work. As we know as individuals, our work has many individual characteristics and traces. That will go back to some of those questions they'll be asking before you get started. And they talked about some pretty sophisticated techniques that they will be using to identify impersonation fraud. We live in a day and age where these security measures are in place for all of us to protect us from fraud using these technological resources that we have. Those same sophisticated techniques are available to the College Board as well. The one thing that the gentleman sharing information continued to say over and over and over again to us as we listened to his presentation was he said, and I'm going to read this one word for word, If College Board believes cheating has occurred, they will notify all institutions you have requested AP, SAT, or PSAT scores be sent. Students will have very unpleasant experiences if they cheat.
So, on that, let's talk about the testing schedule. It's obviously changed. We're not going to be in the building. So the test dates start May 11th and May 22nd. And instead of 4-hour time frames, we have 2-hour time frames. So there will be 3 tests per day, 1 at 12, 1 at 2, 1 at 4. Even if you're a student with extended time, you have time to do multiple tests on the same day. So I'm not concerned about that. If you are, email us, email your teacher, let us know. I want you to look closely at the schedule. I'd like you to take a picture of the schedule so you have it and know what your classes are. English literature and composition is 12th grade. English language and composition is 11th grade. If you have questions, again, email your teacher, email me. We will help you out and figure out when you're testing. If there are any extenuating circumstances, you got to let us know. Okay, I can't help you unless I know. So the 2020 scores, even though the test is vastly different, will still be on a 1 to 5 scale, as they always have been. Those scores will come to you in July, just as they always have. And something different is that your AP teachers will be provided access to your test and your responses by May 26th, which is brand new and sort of cool. Should help for learning and improving our classes and improving how we teach our classes and making any necessary changes. The last thing is I often get questions about, well, what colleges accept my credit, or what do I have to get for this college? You can search that information on the AP credit policy search. The link is in the PowerPoint. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm not sure if you can access it, but you can see if you just research AP credit policy search, it'll take you to the website. Okay, thanks.
Oops, I forgot to turn on my mic, sorry. The last thing that we wanted to remind you of as you're looking at one of my favorite quotes from my favorite author, Dr. Seuss, is that you are ready for this challenge. We know that you have been preparing and studying in your courses all year long, and we know that you are going to be successful. We have so much confidence in you, and we know that you will be resilient and do great. We also wanted to just end with a reminder that if you have any questions or concerns, we encourage you to reach out to your AP teacher, reach out to Mrs. Bowers, reach out to me. We're here to help. We know that this is new and different. So much of what we're experiencing lately includes those 2 words, new and different, but we're here to help you as best we can. So good luck to all of you, and stay in touch. You'll be hearing from your teachers really soon about those additional details after April 20th. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Take care.